So earlier, you learned how we can use an alias to keep the contract of a component stable. Previously, we used an alias on an input property, but we can also use an alias on an output property. So here, if tomorrow I decide to change the name of this event from change to something else, my application is going to break. Let's try this. So I'm going to rename this to click. Now back in app.component.html, you can see this component, which is the client or the consumer of our favorite component, is expecting a change event, but that doesn't exist anymore. Now back in the browser, I'm going to click this. So our component is working, and you may think nothing is broken. But if you look at the console, we no longer have our log messages. So I'm talking about this message that we log in onFavorite changed method of app component. In other words, in app component.html, we're handling the change event, but there's no event by that name. It's because our app component is expecting this event, but it's never happening. So it's assuming maybe sometime in the future, this event is going to get raised. That's why it doesn't give us an error in the browser console. But our code is broken. This event handler is not called. So back in our favorite component, we can apply an alias here to make sure that if in the future we rename this field, the clients of this component are not going to break. So let's call this change, save. Now back in the browser, I'm going to click this. Now look at the console. We get all these messages that are coming from our event handler. So once again, you can use an alias on the input and output properties of your components to keep the API of the component stable.